the happiness formula that actually works. Here's a question that will change everything. Have you ever achieved something you thought would make you happy? A promotion, a relationship, a purchase, only to find yourself thinking, is this it? If so, you've discovered one of the most important truths about human psychology. Chasing happiness directly is the fastest way to never find it. Today, I'm going to reveal the happiness formula that actually works. Not the surface-level positive thinking stuff, but the science-backed principles that create lasting fulfillment. This isn't about temporary pleasure or fleeting moments of joy. This is about building a life that genuinely satisfies you every single day. Let me start with the paradox that's been confusing people for centuries. The more you chase happiness, the more it runs away from you. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. No matter what you achieve or acquire, you always return to your baseline level of happiness. Think about it. Remember the last time you got something you really wanted? Maybe it was a new car, a new job, or reaching a fitness goal. How long did that happiness last? A week? A month? Before you knew it, you were back to feeling the same way you did before, weren't you? This happens because your brain is wired for survival, not satisfaction. It's designed to always want more, to never be completely content. Evolutionary speaking, a satisfied human was a dead human. The ones who survived were always looking for the next opportunity, the next threat, the next thing to improve their situation. But here's where it gets interesting. Matthew Ricard, who scientists have called the happiest man on earth, discovered something profound during 40 years of studying happiness and meditation. He found that happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you cultivate. It's not a destination, it's a way of traveling. The problem with most happiness advice is that it focuses on external circumstances. Get the right job, find the right partner, make enough money, buy the right things. But research consistently shows that external circumstances account for only about 10% of your happiness. Your genetics account for about 50%. But here's the good news. The remaining 40% is completely under your control. That 40% is where the real happiness formula lives. And it has nothing to do with getting more things, and everything to do with changing how you relate to what you already have. So what does create lasting happiness? After studying thousands of people across decades, researchers have identified what I call the flow formula. Focus, love, optimize, and wonder. F. Focus on the present. The happiest people have mastered the art of being where they are. They're not constantly thinking about the past or worrying about the future. They've learned to find richness in ordinary moments. This isn't about meditation retreats or complex mindfulness practices. It's about paying attention to your life while you're living it. When you're eating, actually taste your food. When you're with someone, actually listen to them. When you're walking, notice what's around you. Happiness isn't found in extraordinary moments. It's found in bringing extraordinary attention to ordinary moments. L. Love and connection. Harvard's longest-running study on happiness, spanning over 80 years, reached a simple conclusion. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. Not perfect relationships, good ones. Relationships where you feel seen, heard, and valued. But here's what most people miss. This includes your relationship with yourself. The happiest people have learned to be their own best friend, not their own worst critic. They talk to themselves with the same kindness they'd show a good friend. Oh, optimize for growth. Happiness isn't about comfort, it's about growth. The happiest people are constantly learning, challenging themselves, and becoming more than they were yesterday. They understand that the goal isn't to eliminate all struggle from life. It's to struggle for things that matter. This is why retirement often makes people miserable. It's not that work itself. This is why retirement often makes people miserable. It's not that work itself makes us happy. It's that meaningful challenge makes us happy. Find ways to grow, contribute, and make progress towards something that matters to you. W. Wonder and gratitude. The happiest people have maintained their sense of wonder about life. They notice beauty, appreciate small moments, and regularly practice gratitude, not as a forced exercise, but as a natural way of seeing. But here's the key. Gratitude works best when it's specific and surprising. Instead of, I'm grateful for my family, try, I'm grateful for the way my daughter laughs at her own jokes, or I'm grateful that my coffee was exactly the right temperature this morning. The formula isn't complex, but it requires practice. You're essentially rewiring decades of conditioning that taught you to always want more, be somewhere else, focus on what's wrong, and take things for granted. Now let me give you the practical habits that embody this formula, because knowledge without application is just entertainment. First, the daily 3. Every evening, write down 3 specific things that went well that day and why they went well. This isn't just positive thinking, it's training your brain to notice what's already working in your life. Second, the 5-minute rule. When something frustrates you, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If not, spend no more than 5 minutes being upset about it. Most of what we stress about is temporary and ultimately insignificant. Third, the connection practice. Have one meaningful conversation every day, not small talk, not transactional communication, but a real conversation where you learn something about someone or share something real about yourself. Fourth, the growth question. Before bed, ask yourself, how did I grow today? Or what did I learn today? This keeps you focused on progress rather than perfection. Fifth, the wonder walk. Take a 10-minute walk where you actively look for something beautiful or interesting. This could be as simple as noticing how light hits a building or watching how a dog plays in the park. Here's what I've learned after years of studying this. Happiness isn't a feeling you have, it's a skill you develop. Like any skill, it gets better with practice. The people who seem naturally happy aren't just lucky, they've developed better happiness habits. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you stop chasing happiness and start cultivating it through these practices, happiness starts showing up everywhere. Here's your happiness challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to implement just one element of the flow formula. Choose the one that resonates most with you right now. If you choose focus, practice being fully present in one activity each day. If you choose love, have one deeper conversation daily. If you choose optimize, learn one new thing or challenge yourself in one small way. If you choose wonder, take 5 minutes to actively notice something beautiful or interesting. Track how you feel. Notice what changes. Remember, you're not trying to become happy. You're training yourself to notice the happiness that's already available to you. The life you want isn't somewhere else. It's right here, waiting for you to pay attention to it. But here's what happens when you start implementing these happiness principles. You realize you've been building your entire life around other people's definitions of success instead of your own authentic vision. There's one final piece to creating a truly fulfilling life, and it's about writing your own rules. In my next video, I'm revealing how to stop settling for a life that looks good on paper but feels empty inside. I'll give you the blueprint for designing a life that's not just successful by society's standards, but actually fulfilling by your own standards. If you've ever felt like you're living someone else's life or following a script that doesn't fit who you really are, this next video will be your declaration of independence. Hit subscribe and that notification bell, because what I'm about to share will give you permission to live life entirely on your own terms. This final video will complete your transformation.